Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. How do I do it? Now I have this advice that had already been shown on some occasion about how they can decorate their doors, or in this case the frame of the entrance of their homes for this Christmas. The difference here is that we are going to make it look like it is out of the wall or 3D, as you want to see. So let's see what we will need to do it. We will need different colors of foamy in the size that we'll want to do it, which in this case are complete priests. A cardboard tube or several swimsuits, but the number will depend on how large your figure is. Optionally, an adhesive pencil, a down pen or pencil, our silicone gun, and finally scissors to cut everything. They may also need some nails and hammer depending on where they put it. Now let's see how to do it. In this case, as I am going to do to the Rodolfo rain, I will start doing the typical paintings. So take a large document of the color that you are going to do and trace the figure of these. I do it based on a photo of the internet, but you do it with a guide or copy it from a drawing already made. But since they have marked it, take their scissors and cut inside the line so that if it is not seen. Anyway, do not worry if they pass a little, since one of these has the bottom, so it will not be noticed. Since they have finished cutting it, use what they have just made as a guide and mark the next of the 4 they are going to do. In this way, apart from that they would have even, it will be much easier to do. Just be sure to take advantage of all the specifications and they will not happen to them, as I calculated badly and I could not get to mark the entire painting, but do not worry if it happens to them the same, since we can fill it with the foamy that we have left over. In the same way, take your scissors and cut it inside the line as with the other. As I said, you have to do 4, so they take their other specifications, but now I do give it to the short to reach everything complete. In this way they can put both horns and take advantage of everything. Now they just take your scissors and cut it as we did with the previous 2. So that when they finish doing it they have the 4 horns we need. As you can see, it does not notice which one that is not complete, since as mentioned by one will go in the back and not be noticed. As I told them, I will make a reindeer, but you do the characters or figures that you like best. In this case I will make the typical red nose, and for that I take a plate or some compass to make the circle. Then take their scissors and cut inside the line as we did with the horns. Already finished, they should have an almost perfect circle for their nose. But remember that we need 2 of each part of our reindeer or the figure you have chosen. Here, as I had no red foamy, I used leftover that I had to complete the circle and thus reuse something that I was going to throw so that they keep the big pieces, since they do not know when they will use them. Now take the other circle as a guide and mark it with your down. Already done this, take your scissors again and cut that piece. As it is not exact, all I do is cut the 2 parties together and thus also leave them more similar to a nose or not, so perfect the circle, so that in the end they have both as seen on the screen. Finally do the same with the eyes, that is basically the same process, since we will do them in a circular or endorsed according to you or need your character. So mark the shape with their down and then with their scissors to cut it as well as possible, and always remembering that it is inside the line. In the same way, remember that they have to be 2 for each part they are going to do. So 4 circles we'll need from the eyes. Just like those that I show you in the video of the only part that we are not going to need double will be the inside of the eyes or the white of these. Since if not, it would look a bit weird, apart from the fact that they stand out since they are stuck on top of the circles that comprise them. They stick them with a little adhesive pencil, although if they want they can do it with the same silicone, but I think that with the pure lapis they look very good. So when they finish them, they should have 2 large circles and the whites we just hid, and 2 with them as I just mentioned. Since they have finished drawing and cutting their figure, take their cardboard tube and with a rule mark it more or less 4 centimeters. It may be more or less, but everything depends on the effect they want to give. That is, it looks more outer in 3D as I had mentioned. Keep marking your tube until you complete or have those you need as I mentioned initially. Everything will depend on how big your figure is. Since everything is marked, just take a closed knife or some slayer and cut their cardboard as seen on the screen. Do as many you want or need, but already cut should have something more or less similar to this. We are now going to assemble everything. Now take any part of your figure, in this case the horns, because I think it is the most difficult part, and they are accommodating their pieces of cardboard tube, trying to be the best distributed, and so our figure is firmer. Since they determine how many are the ones they need, just take your silicone gun and put it a bit either to the cardboard or the same foamy, and each one of them sticks that part of your rope. They apply enough to be well glued, so that in the end they have something more or less similar to this. Now what they are going to do to give them a 3rd dimension effect, or that leaves the door or in This case of the wall is that the top will hit it but a little side or that it is not aligned with. The one below in this way will be seen with a little depth. Since they have put it in the right place now, they put silicone in the cartons to hit each of them in the upper or front of their figure. Be careful to go by pulling them and so it is not wrinkled, so that in the end they have something more or less like what I show them in the video. Ultimately do the same with the other figures, as in this case the nose. Repeating the same process. First putting the cards to see how many need and then go sticking with the silicone. Now they put the other part of the nose a little side, but making sure that it is on the same side that they will put all the figures so that it looks good and not all disparate. Do the same with the eyes and other parts that are going to put in the character they have chosen. Making sure that it is well stuck, but the most important thing, towards the right side. Already finished, your figure should be seen as shown on screen. As you can see how it remains as a way out or in 3 of what we wanted. Now you just have to put it where we want to decorate. As you can see, this is how it will be seen already attached to your door or wall in this case, and how you can see the truth is that it is great and more because it gives the impression that it is as it out of this. And seeing it on the side, you can even more appreciate the effect. But whatever they have put it, surely that all their friends and family will love. Apart from that, it is a very simple and cheap ornament to do, so that they can decorate their home from the entrance of it. So do it, and please send me your photos to any of our social networks to publish them. As you know, if you like this video, give it a little man, subscribe, share with all your family, friends and acquaintances. As always, see you in the next videos. Thank you.